Hey everybody, so it's been a hot minute since I've made a storytime video, so here we are I guess. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the time I made my 6th grade science teacher cry. But before I do, however, W released a new blue raspberry flavor called Big Energy Tears. So if you're into energy blends like G Fuel, then I suggest giving W a try. Remember to use code NickSaysHenlo at checkout for 10% off your order. Link is in the description, and yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Alright, so in 6th grade I had a science teacher. I won't be naming any names, but I'll be referring to her as Mrs. Krabappel. Now, Mrs. Krabappel was a very short-tempered teacher, I will say, and whenever her students would misbehave in her class, she would very often get really pissy and tell everyone to shut up, especially when it came to 6th period. I'm not joking, by the way, she would literally tell everyone to shut up. I had her class in 6th period, and I can confidently say that we were by far the most misbehaved class out of the other 6 periods she had. We would always be loud, talk when the teacher's talking, and all that jazz. There was even a time where someone tapped into the classroom's Apple TV and wrote some not very school-appropriate things on the TV. I won't tell you what was on there because I don't remember what was on the TV, but I will say that it mentioned a certain man that had only one ball in his sack. I think you can piece it together. Anyways, Mrs. Krabappel hated everyone in my 6th period class, except for me and a few others. Yep. I was the teacher's pet in that class, but that's because back then I had an old YouTube channel that I never revealed my face on, and people would bother me about it, and it would always set me off in the middle of class, and essentially I would cause a scene. So yeah, I was a pretty sensitive kid back then, and Mrs. Krabappel sympathized with me for that. Now, you're probably thinking that this is a joke, but no, I'm dead serious. If you want to watch the history of my old channel, then I'll leave a card on the top right corner of the screen right now. Anyways, one day we were gonna do an experiment on a bar of ivory soap by putting it in a microwave. Now, for those of you who are probably confused as hell why we're putting soap in a microwave, ivory soap is a particular bar of soap that has small air pockets that, when heated, it makes it expand. Mrs. Krabappel was gonna demonstrate that, but of course, my class being, well, my class, we misbehaved the entire time, and we ended up not getting to see the soap expand in the microwave. But we did get a stern talking to by the teacher about how we're all loud and all that. It honestly felt like I was in a goddamn episode of Hell's Kitchen. I was listening to Gordon Ramsay scold the red and blue team for making him close down his restaurant. Wouldn't have been surprised if my teacher picked me to nominate the 2 people for elimination.
Fuck off you fat useless sack of fucking Yankee danky doodle shite.
But yeah, after that, the class was dismissed and I finished up the day. So the next day rolls around, and it's a regular day like any other day. But then the 6th period rolls around again, and I walk into Mrs. Krabappel's class, only to see that the desks were moved to the side, and all the chairs were placed in a big circle around the classroom. So I found a random seat, put my stuff next to me, and sat down confused as hell. I legit thought there was going to be an intervention for someone's crippling alcohol addiction or something, but then my teacher essentially talked about how we were the worst class of the day for her, and she ended up crying while she talked to everyone. I honestly felt bad because I think we can all agree that kids are mean as hell, especially middle schoolers. Also, being a teacher is a lot of work, especially since the education system doesn't pay teachers enough for what they do. So I could understand her frustrations. She then asked the class on what should change, and a few kids said that people shouldn't talk when the teacher's talking and be loud and yada yada yada, but then I raised my hand, and when I was called on, I said that I didn't want to be picked on anymore, which really isn't something that would change the class per se, but whatever. I guess it would stop my mental breakdowns in the middle of class, but that's really it. Anyways, after that, the bell rang, and some people gave Mrs. Krabappel a hug, and since I felt bad for her and she felt bad for me, I also gave her a hug as well. But yeah, the rest of the day went on as normal. I went to my 7th hour class and then went home. And yeah, that's about it. In conclusion, guys, please be nice to your teachers and show them the respect they deserve, especially if you're a middle schooler. Because not only they have to put up with their miserable paychecks, but they also have to put up with scoundrel students every day. And sometimes it may just bring them to their boiling point. But again, middle schoolers are little gremlin children, so who am I to judge? Point is, just be nice to everyone. Case closed. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I got a bigger video planned for the future, so if that's something you want to look forward to, please leave a like on this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below talking about a time your teacher reached their boiling point. I read every single comment that I get. With that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.